Shalom family, it's Virtuous Gardening with Virtuous Gardening and more. Yes, I did change my channel name. The reason why I changed my channel name because my channel is more about gardening and other things. So at first when I did create my channel, it was mainly about gardening, but however, another side of me is about scriptures. So you're going to see a lot of scriptures being incorporated on my channel. You're also going to see a lot of news, or should I say the latest news was going around with the world, etc., those type of things. So that is the reason for me changing my channel. With that being said, so right now, don't mind me, just came from outside. It is 101 degrees outside in Georgia. So right now the heat has been a little disrespectful, but I survived. So now I'm going to be planting some seeds, or shall I say sowing some seeds. I do have transplants outside that I got from Lowe's, but however, that does not stop me from sowing seeds because you never know what's going to happen to your transplants. You never want to drop the ball pretty much. So right now I'm going to be sowing some Roma seeds, which is Roma tomatoes if you don't know, some more cucumbers, some lettuce, some more bell peppers, some zucchini, and some more okra. All right. So some of my seeds come from me, but some of my other seeds I did get from Lowe's, like especially my Roma tomatoes. I still have not got the method of saving these seeds. But hopefully this year I get a little better. I'm hoping. But anyways, so some of them you're going to see in these packets, and some of them are going to look like this. These are my own personal seeds. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So of course, while I'm sowing seeds, I'm going to be talking about different topics. Like, my question to y'all is, what state are you in and what is y'all temperature like? Like, what are y'all doing to get past this heat? I know one thing that I have changed is, I go outside early in the morning and late in the afternoon. I do not go outside in the heat right now because it's just too much. You can go outside for 2 or 3 minutes and already be sweating. So yeah, and that ain't gonna work for me. So another thing that I've also been changing a lot is drinking a lot of water. That is going to help you stay hydrated in this crazy weather. So yeah, right now I'm planting 2 seeds per pellet, and I am covering up with the soil. That way y'all know exactly what I'm doing. All right, so those are complete. No, it's not. So I got 2 more, and how I keep track of my seedlings. So this is how extreme I go. So I do have everything written down on here. And another thing that I do is I put the front side and the back side. So when this container top goes on, I don't get confused. There's been plenty of years that's been some of my gardening mistakes, getting confused with plants, and I have to wait until they grow up and mature in order for me to tell what plant it is. And it's a little fun, but it's not so fun, especially if you're trying to keep track of what you're growing. So yeah, I try to plant seeds every month. That way I can always stay ahead of anything that happens to any of my other plants. So, yeah. Get in there. Okay. So, my Roma tomato plants are done. Now I'm going to go on to my cucumbers. So my cucumbers, I actually used all of them last year, and it was very hard for me to find these. I love the munchers because there's no such thing as a hybrid. I don't do hybrid plants, but again, that's me. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do, okay? That's y'all business. So cucumbers, I'm only going to be doing 3 because we know cucumber plants grow like crazy, and of course, I don't have that much space, but I make do with my space. All right, I forgot how big these cucumber seeds is, so I really gotta cover them up. And even if you do decide to use these pellets, if you know you're gonna be growing bigger plants, like, or shall I say, using bigger seeds, you want to try to get the pellets that are about this big, because if you get those smaller pellets, it's going to be hard to try to get that seed in there. Trust me, I've done it before. So the smaller pellets are pretty much used for your smaller seeds, like your collards, your lettuce seeds, trying to think of other small seeds, but you get it. So next I'm going to be sowing my lettuce. I love to make my own homemade salads when I have time. Really, I would get the one. All right, y'all, give me 1 minute. Let me get me some scissors. All right, y'all, I'm back. So again, I'm going to be starting my lettuce seeds, and I'm going to be sowing 2 of those per pellet as well. Now, it's up to you if you decide to grow lettuce over the summer. I like to eat lettuce year round, so that is why I'm going to be growing it. It is going to taste different being it is summer, so keep that in mind. All right, my next one is going to be some green bell pepper. If I can get the other seeds back in there. All right, y'all, so bell pepper is next. This is my first time growing this variety. It is garden leader monster bell, so I'm guessing they're bigger green bell peppers. So first time growing it, so we'll see how this one do. All righty, let's start. And of course, I'm going to be doing 2 of these since I already have a lot of peppers outside. But hey, you can't go wrong with too many peppers, especially if you're a cook. 2 and another 2. All right, so that one is done. All right, so next I am going to be starting my watermelon. So I know I've grown watermelon before. Only thing was, watermelon do take over. So my first time growing watermelon, I realized how much, or shall I say, how needy this plant really is. But I'm not going to give up this time, I promise y'all. So I remember the first time I grew my watermelon. I watered it plenty enough. I made sure it had enough fertilizer and all that. So however, I started to realize that it started taking over my backyard. Keep in mind, my backyard is already small. Another thing I started noticing was I got one watermelon plant and it was about that big, right? So after that was done, I quickly took it off. And the reason why I dug it up was because I wasn't producing too much fruit from that watermelon plant because of all of the mistakes that I made, but I learned from them. I can say that much. So yeah, one thing I can say about watermelons is making sure you grow them on a mound or a hill, because I actually grew mine in a container. And again, like I said, you need a lot of care when it comes to watermelon. So everybody do their okra seeds differently. I am doing Louisiana okra. That's my favorite type of okra. Of course, I'm from Louisiana, but everybody do their okra seeds different. I plant mine straight in. It do take a little long to germinate, but again, I still just plant mine in. The easiest way to grow okra if you soak them. All right, so you will get your plants much quicker if you soak them. But for me, I already have okra going, so I can wait a little bit on that. So it just depends on you. It depends on your method. But again, that information is for first time people growing okra, and okra need a lot of heat and a lot of nitrogen to survive. Keep that in mind. So next I am going to be doing some orange bell pepper. I love peppers. I'm a cook, so again, where my cook's at, y'all know we love a lot of seasonings in our food. So yeah, that's why you see me going a lot of peppers, a lot of onions, and basil, because I like to cook with those things. So as far as my orange bell pepper plants, I'm going to be doing 3 of those. I do have 2, I believe, outside. I think it's 2. But yeah, bell peppers are really good for you, by the way. All right, so 2 there. And bell peppers, I do the same thing. I sow 2 seeds per pellet. All right, and then my last one, which is my favorite, some zucchini. Alrighty, so since I started, forgot how big these seeds are too, y'all forgive me. But since I started my own, and I'm gonna put 2 in these as well. But since I started my journey no meat, I come to love zucchini and squash. They're very filling. My favorite dish with zucchini is with red pasta, or shall I say marinara sauce. I do a couple of dishes with those, so sometimes I may make little small, I'm trying to think of what I call it. So what I do is I just put some marinara sauce on sliced zucchini with a little mozzarella cheese and a little basil, and I eat it just like that. It's almost like pizza, kinda, a little bit. So that's what I do when it comes to vegetables. So don't think that, you know, zucchini is nasty or squash is nasty. You want to try to experiment. I like to experiment with different vegetables and things like that. So I am done with this. So what I'm going to do now is cover it, and I'm going to put it under the sink for about 5 days, or until I start to see some seeds sprout. So another thing that you can do with this is you can actually put it outside. I do either or, but this time I'm just going to leave it inside because I have enough stuff going on outside right now. So with that, I'm going to leave it in the inside under my sink. That way they'll be fine under there. All right, just don't forget that it's under there. All right, I always set up a little note on my calendar, that way I don't forget. But yeah, so that's pretty much the ending of this video. Yeah, let me know if you have any other questions, concerns. Drop them in the comment sections below. I try to get to everybody within 24 hours because, again, we all have working schedules outside of YouTube. All right, so with that being said, be blessed, everyone.